Welcome to Lived Stories, a podcast that holds space for inspirational interactions that are real about navigating the challenging journey of separation and divorce. Expect laughter and some tears. It's all welcomed because Lived Stories is meant to be a safe space. The alarm clock went off. I rolled myself over to turn it off, and just before I opened my eyes, I remembered it was Mother's Day. Insert profanity. When I tell you my heart was so heavy, I was battling the mental strain knowing the marriage was over after having prayed, cried, received counseling, gotten advice from trusted friends, etc., etc. I was tired. I was in the thick of things in my own therapy sessions, coming to terms with the harsh realities about myself. And after realizing that my depression was really because I was frozen in the same cycle of blahness for so long. I remember I just couldn't, and I really didn't. And I can run down the list because I can remember it so vividly even today. I didn't feel like putting on a smile or feel like being celebrated, read the guilt of choosing the divorce, or feel like being strong. I was tired of being the strong one and making the hard decisions and being the bigger person. I felt like I didn't feel like getting out of bed, not like the cute way mothers are supposed to pretend to stay in bed and have their kids bring them breakfast in bed or cuddle with them all day and watch movies. Nope. Mine was more, I can't deal. I don't want to pretend that these are happy times. I feel like complete trash. And I don't want to front like all is happy around here because it wasn't. And you know how you just lay in bed on your back and you're looking up at the ceiling. And before I made the choice, let's be so real, that I was going to choose to be in a rotten mood, the tears had started to fill my eyes and it began to roll down the sides of my temple. And just when I was going to begin melt down an ugly cry, I heard the pitter patter of small feet. To all my moms, you know the sound. It's the approach of your little ones who have waited for today because they've been told that it's Mother's Day and that this is the day mothers need all the love and kisses. Now, at the time, my littles were too little to really make breakfast or, lest they burn down the house. They weren't old enough to plan with my ex-husband to get a gift. They just knew that mommy was up and they could go hug her and give her kisses and love. And so the door opened and they crept in quietly. Now, I have two kids, my son and daughter. They were about 6 and 5 at the time, and they were filled with brightness. And it was what I needed to pull me out of the dark mood and fogginess that had surrounded me that morning. Despite the feeling of utter sadness, I wiped my cheek really quickly and braced for the impact. Happy Mother's Day, Mommy, they said almost in unison with their high-pitched little voices, and it made my heart flutter and instantly felt full. Another wave of emotion hit me and tears flooded my eyes again. And this time, it was my son that wiped the tears away and he said, "Are those happy tears, Mommy?" And with a cracked voice, I said, "Yes, honey, happy tears." Of course, they couldn't be sad tears because mommies don't get sad, especially on Mother's Day, at least to a 6-year-old's mind. This I know to be true. The two things can be true at the same time. I was grieving the end of a marriage and I was overwhelmed with the outpouring of love from my littles. It was a little moment, but it was so big and it was just the thing I needed to pull myself together. As I put each foot on the floor of the bedroom, I reminded myself of all the good things. At least I tried to remember all the good things. I was alive. Yep, I started right there. That's it. I was healthy. I was in somewhat of a right mind, or right mind adjacent. I had a roof over my head. There was a little breeze that made the curtains move that graced past my face. I had two healthy littles who loved their mommy so much. And with this grateful exercise, my mood lifted and I found renewed strength to push through that day. Now, this grateful exercise has been simple and yet a profound tool I've used as I navigated so many other tough moments. A friend once told me that if you take a shower and maybe put on a little bit of makeup and a little bit of gloss, your mood gets lifted. And so I did that. Cue, my lip gloss is popping, my lip gloss is cool in my head. I went downstairs to prepare breakfast. Pancakes was their favorite, of theirs. So I made that with a little bit of vanilla syrup and cinnamon because, well, that's what good mommies do. They ensure their littles are taken care of despite the feeling of not wanting to. They sacrifice, they fight, they sweat, they bleed, and strive for the best for their kids. That's the reason I got up and out of bed that morning. They are the reason. In fact, they're always the reason I do most things, if I'm honest. And that's how I know I'm a good mommy. To all my mothers holding it down, saying to yourself, why is this so hard? And that I didn't sign up for this. Take a deep breath. Think about all the good things in your life. I know it's hard. Visualize it for just a beat. Take another deep breath and exhale slowly. Open your eyes. Know you are appreciated, even if you don't feel the appreciation. I know all the unseen things you do because I do them too. If you haven't heard this, you're a good mommy and you're doing a great job. Happy Mother's Day, boo. Keep going. It'll get better. Ever and always, live. Thank you for listening. We want to express our heartfelt gratitude to our incredible community. Your strength and resilience shine brightly. And together, we're creating a safe space filled with solace, guidance, and inspiration. If you resonated with today's episode, share with anyone who might find comfort and support this conversation. Let's spread warmth and encouragement and hope. Join the Lived community on social channels. It's Lived Stories on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, where you can connect with like-minded women, share your story, and access even more trusted resources. Until next time, take care and remember, you're not alone in this journey. You are stronger than you think, and you can do hard things.